Hello everyone, welcome to my page. Today I would like to share the experiences how I create a personalized learning agenda. It is very interesting to talk about Covid-19. This virus has been echoing everywhere in the social media and it is never ending. So that my topic is plus 62 netizens' creativity to respond Covid-19. I would like to assume that my students' level are intermediate or advanced, and the learning goals that I expect are: first, students are able to comprehend the new situation responding to Covid-19. Second, students are able to make the meanings around them. Third, students are able to reflect the importance of experiential learning by writing a critical reflection. And first of all, my topic is about plus 62 netizens' creativity to react how these pandemic issues happened. My expectation, the outcomes of this activity is to produce a reflection essay based on the guidelines which I have provided before. For the students, especially intermediate to advanced, I think there will be no difficulties since the instruction what to do and what the essay will be is clear. And later I would like to explain more. The students' English level are expected enough to comprehend the issue, and the assessment rubric has been designed to accomplish the objectives of the study. To begin with, I am the type of person who always curious about everything, keeping asking what, why, how, and never believes anything, even if it is the truth. Therefore, since I was young, I have a bad habit to address any questions to my mom and dad. It is said bad because they never satisfy me with the answer due to their capacity limitation of understanding my questions and my topics, so that I have to read books or experience it by myself to get to know the answer. In my master journey today, I have realized the benefits to be critical thinking. I reflect that to be critical thinking, not just merely questioning everything or knowing the whole thing without any hesitation to reflect on it, since we just want to know, not to understand exactly. As time goes by, I become more mature to face my own curiosity. I've never enough with the only stop in the behavior learning of memorization as like my teachers or parents asked me. Otherwise, I get used to titen, titeni, and niteni in Javanese language, and careful, observe, or reflect in another language. And as an adult learner, my learning style underpins the experiential learning model. I construct my understanding throughout the process of beginning with direct experience, followed by reflection, followed by lesson learned. It will be easier for me to catch the comprehension by exposing myself to the topic. Immersing the authentic experiences like COVID-19. The assumption begins with the belief that learning takes place by cognitive contemplation. Experience may be treated as restricted entity, and a human learner may be isolated from his or her experience to gain information from it. In fact, take a look at closer to ELT learning. I have to present the information through experiencing the concrete, tangible, felt qualities of my topic, relying on the sense and immersing myself in the concrete reality. Meanwhile, the other may get the no information throughout symbolizing of learning, representation, abstract conceptualization, or stop in the system planning and theories. Both types of learning also beneficial. Going back to the rational, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, like what I have mentioned before, choosing this topic, COVID-19, instead of choosing the content area of COVID-19, what is said about what is the virus, why it happens, I decided to pick the issues of the government policy side effects when encountering the spread of this virus. It is because I would like to explore how people make meaning from this situation. The urgency to point this issue is I would like to promote social activities which can be valued as a lesson learned. As a teacher, I utilize something interesting, fun, genuine, informative, and pictures as part of my supplementary materials to teach the students. As the bridge of what is happening exactly around this issue or to clarify the information on a particular platform such as social media, since it is closer to my students, I think. That's why the hypothesis is Indonesian people and how they react these pandemic issues, and we can explore type of people: apathetic, reactive, creative, and the response was pictured into several ways. Later, there will be writing or making a video, showing picture, and then discussion in my activities as the PLA assessment. And actually, Indonesian people is seriously generous. The hashtag di rumah aja, stay home, the corona reda, work from home, work from coast, creating hashtag to help people understand what is happening around. And the learning design that I prepare is, of course, pre-activities. In these pre-activities, more or less, I would like to talk about the observation from. I would like to increase the sense of my students' critical observation, and it can be problems around you, how the social media take place, and own experiences. This observation is important to be shared in the beginning, and each individual have a different opinion and idea related to the COVID-19. And the classroom activities, I would like to make a discussion in a group, and I would like to probe the question, 6 type of question that I got from Socratic questions, and how we value the question. So creating questions not only wants to know something, but maybe the questions is for clarification or probe the assumptions, or question that probe reasons and evidences. Question about the viewpoints and perspectives. It's gonna be different one to another. Question that probe implications and consequences, how COVID-19 give the effect in the economic side, in the mental health, in the psychology framework, in the emotion or feeling. And the last is about the question itself, how we question our question. So I would like to give it's like the articles. It can be a journals, it can be references regarding to the articles, and I have already provided such as these articles. For example, the title is Sign of the Times. Roma Irama releases virus corona song, and it is written in Jakarta Post. Here the link. The summaries about the article is actually reported a legendary singer a new song regarding the issue about the COVID-19, and how people react is totally different one to another, right? What I've told before, and song is one of the place to gain and stimulus people awareness. And we can give the question, what is the purpose of the song made? We can ask the students, what is the expectation from the composer and the singer to produce the song? Can you imagine how various the answer gonna be? What is the relevance between the song and the anxiety appears which influences people who listen to it? Is it meaningful? It is useful? Or it is just having fun? So that's why the activities are kind of various, and pre-activities are stimulated to make the students get up with the issues. And during the activities, I would like to build the warmth of discussion by stimulating them with the references from the articles. And the article is not heavy actually. This is something fun. And this is the main activities. The post activities from the classroom, and it is individual, is critical reflection. From the learning community, I have learned to be a reflective and strategic, and I realize it. I cannot deny that this seems more free time in pandemic situation, and it is that's not always convey the adequate time to be more productive. Meanwhile, in this 21st century, the dimension of the adult learning in today's era provokes people to be fast, dynamic, attentive. To feel this strain in the learning, critical thinking only is not enough to shape individual learning. Further, I need a reflection to shape my perspectives. There is a space in this area to validate what I have believed, and I already depicted robustly in my head. Critical reflection and critical question of the perspectives is beneficial for me to lead my constructive assumptions when I did the writing, either for my personal writing or when I amplify my idea throughout my friends. comments, even though it may lead to potentially invalid meaning to my friend's understanding. According to my thought, I got the betterment of these activities first. In real life, the problems appear disorganized. It is impossible to expect how problems can beautifully queue up. However, they come brutally in a group of packs. Thus, it is vital to get used to overcome the situation and wisely solve them. Second, it is valuable that there is an unfixed recipe in the learning so that people need to expose themselves to the set of fruitful community context and the authenticity. Then immerse the learning to bring this into the real life. What I would like to share my PLE design is the fact that Indonesian people are more reactive to any kind of phenomenon quickly and affect the country as the whole area. Thus, I would like to promote a reflective writing essay about the typical person classification when a sudden significant happen. For example, after that we can learn from the people and the situation as the strategy on how to react and act in a tight situation. Because it is so difficult to make the habit of work from home, online, distant learning, for example, because sometimes it makes people to be unproductive. In this essay, critical reflection, how we make it mom if the students ask first, what is actually the reflective essay? The purpose of I invite the students to reflect is that I believe on the key of reflection skills, which beneficial for my students to grow. I would like to help the students deepen the learning and increase the sense of reflection for their movement, because self-reflecting helps students to understand what they have learned, why they learn it, and how that particular increment of learning took place. One of the examples is throughout the issue of COVID-19. I hope we can learn how to respond wisely and reflect how to deal with this situation. It is difficult to see another perspective when people around you act like contradictory with your belief, and that's okay. Even the government proposes so many rules and regulations which may be a different one to another ministry. Even they work as a group, as a teamwork, yeah. So that by this kind of activities, it will help every individual to stand out with own belief, which doesn't hurt anybody. Reflect on what we believe for the beneficial of continuing living. That's why what is the essays gonna be? Describe the issue, including your role, observation, reaction. The what stage helped you make the initial observation about what you feel and think. At this point, there is no need to look at your course notes or readings. I mean, the reading supplementary is actually only stimulation. What is actually what you write is your clear, your fact, or own experiences regarding how these pandemic issues affect you personally in your own community groups. So what happened, and as a person, what did they do? What did you expect with these pandemic issues has been happened? What was different maybe your reaction to another, your belief with another, and what's your reaction. Uh, it is it is probably personal, or maybe you can report your neighborhood or your community in your own home. And for all of the observation, what did you learn? It is very important. And then after what, to take the topic, so what? I would like to try to understand on a deeper level why the issue is significant or relevant. So that's why there will be academic perspective, personal perspective, and system perspective. In this academic perspective, basically I would like to enhance the students' understanding, concept, theory, and skill. Did the experience confirm their understanding or challenge it? Did my students identify really the strengths or gaps between their knowledge? And the personal perspective, why does this experience, I mean the observation, the critical question previously, matter for them? And what is the consequence? Were the previous expectation or assumption confirmed or maybe refuted? What surprised you if you're going back to the reality, and why? The last is I would like to see the system perspective. What were the sources of power? Who benefited with this issue, with the side effects, with the policy? Maybe Pak RT made a certain policy for the society in your home, so that's why. Who was harmed? What change would you suggest? Bad or good? Always need a suggestion. How does this experience help you understand the organization or the topic? Yeah. And now what? I would like to explore how the experience will shape the students' future thinking and behavior. It is not only a spontaneous reaction, when these pandemic issues happen. What are you going to do as a result of your experiences? Then write it down. What will you do differently? Write it down. How will you apply what you have learned before? Write it down. So those are the questions as the stimulation for my students construct their ideas to what exactly the reflection is a formulation, and how we articulate the essay. I have provided the outline for them to make them easier. What it is, what it looks like, and what is the shape gonna be for my essay maze. And first develop a thesis statement. For example, the COVID-19 really changed my family, and it is a big matter for us. And there is the outline. Begin with the introduction of background, context of your reflection. Of course, there is a statement. And the body is gonna be talking about the paragraph. For example, the section A. You have to introduce the thing, pose your thought, your position, describe the moment of learning, what is changes, and then writer's current or new position. It's also important. The next paragraph, you introduce the theme, the the heading of your next paragraph. You can come up with the focus of your issues. Write again your position. What is your current or new position? After your description, you can share your opinion, your assumption, your thoughts. And of course, next for the rest of the body. And your essay will be concluded as a summarized learning. This reflection discusses significance of learning for self and others, the readers, and also provide a discussion future actions that probably wisely to be promoted. How if there is negative reaction about these pandemic issues, for example. And then begin to write, and the teacher will read and give the feedback, and students will revise, and so on, and the rest. However, dealing with these pandemic issues seems unclear for people in all the countries. The scientists also keep figuring out further this virus type of mutations and finding the vaccine. People are waiting for the government announcement what to do next, and it seems problematic. Like Indonesian today, we have a new normal. People need to adjust this new normal. Therefore, the reaction will be diverse and interesting to be explored. It can be your topic as the reflection essay. Anyway, reflection remains challenging. It needs habits and consistency, of course. To generate the importance of reflection, I use the outline, like what I have explained before, to visualize what students should do. And finally, I hope they understand why it must be reflection, critical reflection, questioning, observing, and writing. Actually, I know the problems. Like me, myself, learning English is not my priority, and maybe my students feel the same. Since I was a kid, my utmost will push me to go near to the Arabic language instead of English. That's my first experience in teaching a strong company, not students who need English, but Arabic language and the translation on it. Actually, I fell in love with the English for 9 years old because I would like to understand some books that my father gave to me. But in the middle of the journey, I was asked to go further, shaping another skill in the language. Since I am more comfortable expressing the English language, yeah, I don't know what exactly my English language take place, for example. So it is okay for my students later to give a, uh, the essay not with their full of heart, but I would like to promote uh, the closer connection with them. So I hope this attach of background knowledge regarding to the English environment utilize their daily routine, especially for the writing task, to grow. So In conclusion, in my PLA, I propose 3 activities: pre, during, and post. And pre activities, I invite the students to observe what's happening around and what experience we have. Yeah, but this is the pre activities. And the main activities let students question the issue with this type of 6 Socratic question. And for the post activities, for them is I ask the students to make a critical reflection with my previous explanation why it is important, and detailing how to make the essay. So I hope my students are not getting lost. So all of these activities are expected to reveal what GSRA points out: the excitement there will be envisioned to the personal intellectual growth, but little bit culture shock, because let the student experience the changes by the topic issues. And next, later on, there will be adjustment. I need the student to acquire the learn and unlearn something that they have believed before, because they're gonna be next as a progression for further critical learning. In this PLA, I use critical reflection as a further action. So the assessment rubric, I would like to valuing the reflection. Um, it signals to the student the importance of experience learning and provide an opportunity for the students to provide feedback from the teacher regarding on their critical essay writing. And this rubric or this rubric is gonna be their guidance, because it is demonstrate alignment between assignment, the shape, the outline that I have provided, and the learning outcomes for the course. These are the concept of my assessment. The first goal, the student need to critically review and analyze the text or pictures that I have provided. Later I will show it. And I would like to make them articulate the perspective of the problems. So students make reflection after reading the text by articulating the new perspectives from the pre-activities, from the discussion by questioning with the 6 types, and students make connection with the personal experiences. This is the rubric. There is a critical reflection, understanding, or the lowest level as the habitual action or non-reflection at all. I would like to assess their reflection on existing knowledge and their ability to make a connection to the academic concepts and the evidence of the development of their writing essay. These are the stimulus articles that have been provided for them. First, there is this article that I have explained before, and the rest also. If you take a look at the title, it is not talking about the content of COVID, and instead I would like to promote the fun of people reaction for the government policy, from the virus happen. Yeah, it's like coronavirus means working from home for many, but some say it is easier than done, but actually it is not, maybe. If you are interested, just go click to this link. Indonesian musicians raise awareness about COVID-19 through songs. So it is not only Roma Irama who made the virus corona song and promote the message on the here. Only to you, God, do we turn for protection from the threat. So there will be not only a stimulation but also a message, and then a praying hopes for the people. And it is very interesting. And there is greetings. Yeah, since we cannot make a shake hand, people creatively make another idea how to greet people one to another. Indonesia introduced elbow shake. Yeah, and then there is a huge internationally and bizarre information how to keep the resident safe. So they promote pocong as the icon to make the people frightened and stay at home. It is very interesting, yeah. And pictures that I've been echoing in my presentation is the pictures. And if you can see the first picture, people actually they would like to lock down LOCKDOWN the community, yeah? But Indonesian people try to write another alphabets that sounds the same. Lockdown, 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 lock, don't, download. And this is very interesting. So I would like to make the students share their opinions. And then there is the hotel who support the doctors and the people to stay lovely, to stay happy with showing the heart shapes. It is very interesting. And actually I would like to promote how to tackle hoax. And it is very important. It is very important how I chose the article for my students. Is it vague or no? Is it fake or truth? I have this simple a forum. True or hoax? Hoax is defined false information, and what is include maybe disinformation. It gonna be a satire or etc. And we also can classify half truth, which is classified as hoax. So just take care on it. And actually to tackle the hoax, this forum make the classification simple in academic. For the simple, just to mention hoax or not, yeah, if it is satire and disinformative, so it's probably hoax. But how if the academic classification, there are some criteria: satire or parody, false connection, false context, misleading context, imposter content, manipulated content, or fabricated content. So I take this kind of strategy from this forum. I really love to join this forum from Mafindo, Masyarakat Anti Fitnah Indonesia, and you just can googling to know how further Mafindo works to tackle the hoax. So thank you. So if I may conclude that this personalized learning agenda that I've been promoted apply the 9 high-yield instructional strategies. There are 9 strategies listed, such as identifying similarities and differences with the COVID-19 reaction from people, summarizing and note-taking. Of course, there is reinforcing effort and providing recognition, homework and practice by making the critical reflection essay, non-linguistic representation, cooperative learning, setting objective and providing feedback, generate and testing hypotheses, question, cues, and advanced organizers. This strategy is research-based. The purpose is clear: to increase students' achievements, and I think it is beneficial for students. Every stage brings good impact for students to grow. Moreover, the implementation of these strategies insert the resources of authenticity and genuine personal development, and how the context for growth as the critical discourse community. When the invitation for students to make the reflections is grow to promote the growing up of critical thought and to increase this sense of reflection. I have already provided the activities in pre-activities, during activities, post activities, and how to make the essay. So my students will have the clear instruction, goals, and what to do. So throughout these issues of COVID-19, I hope we can learn something, how to respond and react wisely throughout the reflection session. And later on, it is beneficial for the students for their future life in continuing their lives. Thank you.